Thanks for listening to LTG Radio, the Leon Thomas Group Radio Network. It's now time for NRG This Week. NRG stands for Network Referral Group. To learn more about NRG, go to their website, NRG.online. It's now time for another episode of NRG This Week.
Hey, good afternoon. Mike Weiner here, CEO of NRG, for another episode of NRG This Week. I am running solo. My partner here, Leon Thomas, will not be here. And Leon and I go back about a minute. We always say that. We've known each other 25 years, and Leon is actually, the Leon Thomas Group is producing videos for the NRG University, which is coming January 1. We have a new website. For those of you who have never seen me before, we are a full service networking organization. We have been around in Maryland 25 years, coming up mid-January, and I help companies grow their business through referrals. When COVID hit, we pivoted and we went to Zoom. We're currently in 18 states, 5 countries, growing rapidly. For more information, it's on the bottom here. Reach out to me at 443-756-9656. The website is on the screen, NRG.online. You can also reach me at email, mike@networkreferralgroup.com. I want to take a minute. We have got a big announcement coming up this Friday. Join in on my Zoom number. It's 4:30 p.m. Eastern. And on my Zoom, which is located on the screen, 367-333-9689, no password, you'll be able to get in. We're going to do a 30-minute preview of 2025. We've got some exciting things coming for the members. I am absolutely, Leon always asks me how I am, and I'm stoked about this. We're going to have a referral program, which is already in place, but we're going to add a revenue share. We're going to offer the opportunity to win a cruise, and we're also going to do something new called NRG Bucks, which I'll talk about another time. But basically, it's money that you can use toward other products and services within NRG. So today we've got Ron Cooper with us. I'm really excited. Ron was introduced to me through a longtime friend and NRG member, Jasper Sanford. Ron, I'm going to bring you in. I always kid with everyone, say Studio 54, which is where they got disco going back in New York, back in the day of Madonna. So, Ron, we're both here in Maryland. I'm looking outside. It is a miserable day, rain, fog, cold, cloud, chance of snow later. So, Ron, how are you doing today on this beautiful day in Maryland?
Mike, we're doing great here. I'm looking outside at the rain, the cold, and for the moment, I'm glad to be inside out of that.
So, Ron, we've got a viewing audience that's live. We do record this. It'll be on YouTube, and someone could see you right now. They could see you in a week, a month, a year. So take 2 minutes, talk about what you do. I find you fascinating. You're here in Southern Maryland. I'm here in Maryland, so we got the Maryland connection going today. But take 2 or 3 minutes, talk about what you do.
Thank you, Mike. I am the founder of the Cooper Culture, and we are a small veteran-owned business. I served 22 years in the United States Air Force. I was very privileged to be able to fly the F-4 aircraft, that's known as the Phantom, and I was qualified to be the commander of a squadron while I was serving in the Air Force, and thoroughly enjoyed the 22 years I was with the United States Air Force, after which I transitioned to civilian life, where I continued to support the military through contract support efforts. And we have the Cooper culture. I emphasize the word culture because we help businesses establish and maintain a culture of harmony. And I'm defining harmony as one in which the staff, the employees, are ones who know each other very well. We as leaders know them. We know their personalities. We know their strengths. And one thing about the military, along with, I frequently say, the military, police, and law enforcement are three agencies, professions who have a very close culture. In some cases, literally, our lives depend on trusting each other. And Mike, it's through that trust that I have developed the discipline that we need to learn each other, trust each other. And it's through that that we work well with each other. And I want to help businesses create that type of culture. And it has everything to do from the leadership all the way down.
Love it, Ron. Thank you for explaining that. And I was thinking as you were talking, Ron, some of the words you use, harmony. It's funny, harmony came up a week ago on this call, and I think Leon went into the vault and pulled that old song out. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. That could be your theme song. Couple things. You reminded me of my dad for a second. My dad would have he's passed away 25 years ago, back in 1999, but he always talked about accountability. If you say something, do it. Your word is your bond. And I've seen you and I have developed a really good relationship. I felt when I met you, we were on the same wavelength. And, a lot of that's law of attraction and serving and helping. And I get that message from you really strong. When I've seen someone come in NRG, and I've been doing this a little bit here, 2.5 decades, that military background, I love it because I know that you're going to come in with discipline. So talk a little bit about some of the things that discipline has helped you with your company, because things can get challenging. The holidays are coming. We got Christmas and Hanukkah 2 weeks from today. Only the fourth time in history they both have hit the same day. But what is discipline from the military? How has that helped you, in your words, to create harmony for yourself before you even help other people? But how has that discipline helped Ron Cooper out?
Yeah, thank you, Mike. The term discipline covers a wide disciplinary, is very wide encompassing. Just a few things. One aspect of discipline, if you are at the appointed place less than 15 minutes before the scheduled start time, you're late. Your word is your bond. You mentioned that, Mike. One of the things that Marty, my wife, and I, Marty is 56 years, my wife, we are living on a 103-acre property in Maryland. And I would say about 85% of the quite large home we live in was built on a handshake. That is, I said, you tell me what your rate is and you be honest with me about the labor you put into it, and I will pay you. We shook hands. We didn't have a contract. And about 85% of our very large home was built just that way. We've got to trust each other, Mike. And trust for some people takes a while to develop, but I'm the kind of person that if you come across to me that you're a person of your word, we can get along real well. Let's shake hands. Let's just work together. But that discipline is you do what you say you will do. We are accountable to each other. Yeah. Those are some very broad, expansive terms, but that's a lot of what we're about, Mike.
I love that, Ron, because, discipline and commitment and harmony and doing what you say you're going to do, it's kind of a throwback. And there's a lot of folks that don't do that. They tell me they're going to be at a meeting and they're as a visitor and they're not there. And I'll reach out to them once or twice. But, if someone is not accountable, Ron, I question, do I want to bring them into the NRG family? Because you've seen the culture, people like Lori and Holly and Becky and Sasha and Sierra, my team captains, we're all in this together. And you're right, we've got to trust each other. And it starts when you joined, I gave you 3 referrals even before you joined. And once you joined, I blew your phone up. But, my theory, and people have asked, why do I do that? And there's 100 million reasons, but I will trust someone until they give me a reason not to. And sometimes, Ron, people flip it and they don't trust anyone. And, you're putting that out to the universe. And if you trust people, you're going to, for the most part, you're going to be in great situations. Now, if someone sends you an email and it's a scam, you skip it and you move on and so forth. But I love, you and I have got the same mindset, and I think that's great. I'm going to ask you one more question, then we're going to go to a commercial break. These interns here do a great job. Give us an example, because I really want people to get what you do. Give us an example of a client, without mentioning their name, obviously, of what you were able to do for them, whether it's ROI, doubling their income, creating harmony. Take 2-3 minutes before our break. I want people to really get what Ron does, because I'm getting a really good feel about it as you and I get to know each other and really further that bond. But give us an example of a satisfied client and the benefits that you've brought to them.
The satisfied client does result in an ROI, return on investment, but that's not the primary objective. The ROI, the return on the investment, the money will follow the profits, call that a P, after you place the emphasis on the people. And the people are the ones that are bringing in the revenue. They're satisfied with what they do. You as a leader need to identify what your company's strategic objectives are. This company does, and then you need to know where you fit with that company. So I'm going to help you identify your strengths. You are hired on strengths and values being one of those fundamental principles. And then once you know exactly what your strengths are and where that relates to and interrelates to the company's strategic values, that's how we get together. What I do is help that company develop a culture where everyone knows they are a valued part of the staff. They know there is a psychologically safe space, meaning we can fail. And if I have any challenges at all, or let's say that I want to talk to you about what may be considered an uncomfortable topic, we know we can talk through that and we can talk together. And together we will, if we need to, reframe the problem such that, and I hope you will come to me with a solution. And if the solution is a little bit more myopic than I would like, I want to help you design a solution that has a more global benefit to our company. When all that's put together, Mike, we are a company that is very cohesive. We function as a team. I can use the sports analogy that when we are functioning as a team, we have brotherhood. And I don't mean that brotherhood in any sexist term at all. It just means we know each other. We get together. We know each other very well, and we know exactly how we work best with each other. But when a company has that type culture, the profits naturally follow, but you're putting the people first.
I love it. Hey, we could say brotherhood, we could say sisterhood, and we got them all covered, Ron. But I love safe space. I always say that with NRG. We can, come here and really help each other grow. So I do want to give Leon kudos real quick. Racquetball Revival. It's a cause of Leon's. It's amazing. He works with kids of all ages, and it's just been a really big resource for Leon. So you see that, racquetballrevival.com. Reach out to Leon. We are going to take a commercial break. On the flip side, when we come back, Ron, we're going to talk with you a little bit about your experience with NRG. I think you've heard of that once or twice. And, what your thoughts were when you came in, what your thoughts are. You've been with me a very short time. I don't think it's even 60, 70 days yet. So on the flip side, we're going to talk about NRG, and we're going to dig in a little bit more to what you do. So we will be right back after this commercial break. Thank you.
Baked by Brianna has been your Baltimore hometown bakery since 1969. Located in Roxton Plaza, Baked by Brianna. Visit bakedbybrianna.io.
At Rod's Car Repairs, we work on all cars, old cars, new cars, and your car. Car Repairs by Rod.io.
Well, hi, everybody. This is your announcer, Biff Bergman, speaking for Farmer John. Farmer John Luncheon Sausage and Farmer John Luncheon Meat. Either way, Farmer John is easternmost in flavor and westernmost in taste. You can purchase all Farmer John products at your tri-state area, Mike's Meat Market. Go to mikesmeatmarket.com. Mike's Meat Market and Farmer John. What a double play combination.
Hi, it's Robin from LTG Radio reminding you that the holiday shopping season is just a few months away. But you don't have to wait until December to start your shopping. You can do it now by going to Why Wait? Shop Now. .biz. That's Why Wait? Shop Now. .biz. There's no need to wait. Go to Why Wait? Shop Now. .biz. Start now on that Christmas shopping list. And now, back to more LTG Radio.
I'm Leon Thomas with the Leon Thomas Group. Podcast, virtual events, webinars, streaming shows, and so much more. We want to be your partner in all things virtual.
Hey, everybody. Mike Weiner here, NRG CEO and founder, reminding you about a big event coming up this Friday. It will be on my Zoom again, 367-333-9689. No password, 367-333-9689. And it's going to be a great event. We're going to talk about 2025. We're coming out with a revenue share for the members. We're coming out with the potential to win a cruise and also NRG Bucks. So definitely come out. It's going to go from 4:30 p.m. Eastern to 5 p.m., and it's going to be a great event. So we are interviewing right now on NRG This week. Mike Weiner, a solo act today with Ron Cooper, having a great conversation. Two local Maryland guys here just chatting and shooting the breeze. So Ron, you came in NRG. Your buddy Jasper said, you got to check it out. I believe he did a three-way text intro. You and I communicated. We agreed on a meeting. You came out to Southern Maryland. It's all on Zoom. So there was no gas involved, right? Driving like I used to do in the old days. And you came to the meeting. You joined pretty immediately. Wasn't right after the meeting, but pretty soon after. Talk to our members. There's a lot of people. There are two kinds of people. They've been in other networking groups that really have not been as fruitful as they would like. We're going to keep it upbeat. Or there's people that have never been in a networking group. So maybe take 2-3 minutes, talk about your experience with NRG. I feel like you fit in extremely well. Lori, myself, all the members. So take 2 or 3 minutes and talk about when you saw it. What was your thoughts? Why did you join? And what have you seen so far? Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Network referral. That may connote a lot of different things to our listeners, but sometimes you go into a group of, 50, 100 people or so, and it is all dependent on how well you interact with the crowd. How do you get a conversation started, and how can you discuss something meaningful with people you don't know and maybe won't see again? So network referral. What this, I will say in a just an open-ended question, who do you know that I need to know? And when you're working with people who genuinely want to introduce you to other people, this is not a referral group where, if you go to someplace and so forth, but rather it is one. Let me introduce you to, as you were saying, Mike, you introduced me to several people, and that introduction was, I'm Mike Weiner. You need to meet Ron Cooper. And here's how we get together. So, Mike, it was your referral with people I need to know based on my background, interests, and so forth. So we're being connected with like-minded people, and it is very genuine. It's not something that well, just come on in and see what happens. No, a very active group where we literally introduce each other to other people based on our common backgrounds, and we're identifying with meeting like-minded people. So that's a great way to say it, Mike. And yes, it was within a few hours of, I think we've been with the group 3 or 4 weeks. And, but I could see the value in it right away. And quite honestly, Mike, it was yours and my interaction right away that said, yep, this is worth a try. And it's worked out great.
I appreciate that. That was great. You know, you reminded me of a couple words, intentional. And that's everything that we do. And it sounds like that's what you do with your company as well. And then access. Who do people have access to? I think over the years, over the decades, people look at someone and go, they can't help me. I can't sell to them. And that's the absolute worst way to look at networking. You look at networking, how can I help my fellow man or woman? And then they're going to help you out. So law of reciprocity. It's the way it works. So Ron, you reminded me of intentional, and access. So appreciate all the feedback from you on that. That was awesome.
No, that's all good, Mike. I'll interject just very quickly here. The word collaboration. Collaboration to me is working together to a mutual benefit. And that to me is what the Network Referral Group is about.
I love the word collaboration. I appreciate you bringing that up. So that is a great word. Sometimes people come in and they conflict a little bit, but we've actually had people in the same industry, Ron, working together. Because sometimes one will flip it to the other. Sometimes they'll work together. So I appreciate that. Collaboration is a great word. It's a word we use in a lot of the meetings. So, Ron, what is one of your, I'm trying to come up with the right word, services or points of interest that you really would like to help people with, but you really haven't done it as much as you would like to? I'm trying to get to something that's in your wheelhouse, in your toolbox that you would like to help people with. Maybe it's mindset, maybe it's goal setting. I don't know what it is, but take a couple of minutes, talk about something that you and your organization do that is maybe unique, proprietary, but something that could really help companies, but maybe they don't take advantage of it like they should.
I'll put it in this context, Mike. We talk a lot about purpose, vision, and goals, and I'm going to focus on the word purpose. Do you know your purpose in life? And that purpose is, at least in part, defined as knowing exactly what your strengths are. I use the word fulfillment quite often. When you are filling your purpose, when you are working through your purpose, at the end of the day, you can be totally fulfilled that I was born to do what I'm doing. And Mike, I sense that in you, that you are totally fulfilled, albeit you may be exhausted, but at least you're totally fulfilled at the end of the day of doing what you're doing and filling your purpose for the Network Referral Group. But when leaders know their purpose and they're able to communicate that to their employees, and we have a good match within our company of knowing our purpose, then our employees function much better. And there is a discipline that our staff members are willing to work for us. Mike, one of the things that I do as a coach is there are some of us, and I have a much longer background than what we have time to talk about, but it's coming out of a life of what used to be just having no confidence and so forth. But there are people on your staff who may be just that way, that, I'm not to, I don't have the confidence that I want to go to you and explain something to you. I need to work through this. But if you have the environment where that, again, psychologically safe, that come on in, we will talk about this. And because I value you enough that I want for you to perform at your very best. And part of that is coaching, because there are some of us who have deeply buried in our subconscious things that keep us from performing at our greatest potential. That's just one of the things that we help people through to work at their greatest potential. And when they are, again, I go back to the term fulfillment, but purpose ultimately leads to fulfillment.
I love it, Ryan. And I was laughing when you use the word exhausted because one of my members is trying to invite a guest out and she didn't come last week because she was exhausted and she's using the same excuse for tonight. And I told her, tell exhausted to come meet exhausted. And by the way, she'll get 3 referrals. So I think sometimes people don't understand opportunity. They're like, and you know what I do, Ron? Like I was so tired yesterday after all the Zooms. I went to the gym and I went on the treadmill and I worked out and I felt, and I'm going to probably do that tonight because it's a rainy day. You know, what's the easiest thing to do? Let go, put on the TV. And I have a quote, turn off the TV and turn on your dreams. That's a Mike Weiner quote. I'm not a big TV guy. That never have been because that's not where we're going to accomplish our dreams of serving others. It's a passive attitude. And I'm not judging anyone, but you know, I think you and I are so driven to help other people. And yeah, there's times you get exhausted. I don't look at NRG as just my company, Ron. It's a passion. And they say when you find your passion, you never work another day in your life. And I see I'm looking at my camera, but I can see your head nodding. So you and I are on the same page. I've got one last question for you. And I think it's a really good question I've come up with when I'm doing solo and I think about it. What have I not asked you that you would like to talk about? And then we're going to talk football for a minute because someone told us a long time ago, don't talk sports. Leon, I always do that. So we're going to talk Ravens Commanders in a minute. But what have I not asked you that you'd like to take 2 or 3 minutes and discuss? It can be anything business related, your company, another testimonial, anything you feel the viewers would benefit from.
It's a topic that'll take much longer than what we have time for, Mike. But I will tell you that what have you overcome? What is it about the past that you have overcome that you want to pass forward to help other people overcome? And I speak on a topic, words matter. And that goes into much, much longer than what we have time to express right now. But I can tell you, Mike, words matter. That formed a lot of my early life where I had no confidence. And I can tell you, if I were right now what I was then at an early age, you and I would never be able to talk on this podcast because I wouldn't have the confidence to do that. So a topic maybe we can discuss at a later date.
You know, it's funny with words matter. I've been studying law of attraction and some of the other laws almost 10 years now. And when I start to talk, Ron, if I'm saying something to a member and I know that it's not the right thing, I will cut myself right down and stop the sentence. I've gotten very good at like man in the rearview mirror. Sometimes you have to step out of your body and go, that's not what I want to say. Because you're right. Every word that you put out there, and that's why I'm manifesting NRG is going to grow massively in 2025. Ron, you and your wife are going to qualify for the cruise. Jasper and his significant other, and it's going to be amazing. So we're going to wrap up here, Ron. I want to your favorite team in football. I think you said used to be the Redskins, now the Commanders, right?
Well, on the NFL side, now I'm a Virginia Tech graduate, so I'm just going to tell your listeners I am a Hokie in the college level and Redskin at the NFL level.
My youngest son, I told you this, went to Virginia Tech. I think he graduated like 2 years ago. He just went to a game, from where we live, or he's in Howard County, going all the way down. There's a couple of hours, but he went and saw the Hokies. So very good. I was going to tell you, Redskin wise, I used to like Joe Theismann and John Riggins. I'm more of a Ravens fan now. I was a Colts fan until 1983 when who took them on a snowstorm on a Mayflower van. I was in college. I remember yelling up to my dad. I was heartbroken the Colts left, but a few years later the Ravens came, and we'll see what happens. The Ravens and Commanders could meet in the playoffs. It could be the 95 Beltway battle. So we'll see what happens. But
You're right there.
Brian, I've appreciated having you on. It's been a lot of fun. I love listening to you. You and I resonate at a very high level. So appreciate you being here. Thank you very much.
Appreciate you, partner.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I am Mike Weiner. I look forward to seeing as many of you as we can on Friday, coming up December 13th. We're going to have a great event, talk about 2025, and definitely be there. 367-333-9689 is the Zoom number. This is going to conclude another episode of NRG this week. We will see you hopefully Friday. Thank you very much. Bye.